My family has been selling livestock as part of their livelihood for over a decade now, and we've learned a lot. We've learned how you don't want to sell your animals and how you maximize profit with them. And today I'm going to show you 3 different ways that we have sold our sheep, specifically how we sell our breeding stock ewes, and which of these ways, in my opinion, is the absolute best way. We just weaned our lambs this past month, and now it's time to sell them. And the easiest way to do that by far is at a livestock auction, or what we like to call a sale barn. All you have to do is drop your sheep off the day of the sale, and the auction does the rest. They will auction off your livestock for you, and you don't have to really worry about anything. This sounds great, but ease is probably the only benefit that you can get from selling your sheep at an auction. The drawbacks to it are many. One of the biggest ones is that you don't know what price you're going to get for your sheep. And from our experience, the seller is usually the only person at the livestock auction that gets the short end of the stick. But it doesn't end there. Then there are the fees. You've got the sale barn commission, which is usually around 8%. Then the stockyard fee, which is usually around $2 a head. Then the sheep checkoff fee, which is $1 a head. Then there seems to be like another fee that's just thrown in there. You get my point. We try not to sell any of our livestock through the sale barn because of this reason. Fees. But the sale barn isn't your only option. You also have got stockbrokers. Livestock brokers. But yeah, those actually exist. The second way we have sold sheep is through a broker. A broker, for sheep in this case, is the intermediary guy who connects the ranchers who have the livestock like us to the buyers who want to eat them. This works really well if you have the type of sheep the broker is looking for. The broker will look at all the sheep that you got to sell and then offer you a price for the whole group. This is a lot better than the sale barn because there aren't any fees and you know how much money you're gonna get. However, in our experience, you are still leaving money on the table with this method, because all the broker is gonna do is resell the sheep and make a profit off of them. We, being the selfish farmers we are, want to get all the profit, seeing how we took all the risk and did all the work. Yeah, so humble. I'm just so humble. So, as you can probably guess, our favorite way to sell sheep is right off the farm. Sales. Right off the farm sales. We utilize Facebook to advertise if we have any sheep for sale. There is one problem with doing this though. It is actually against Facebook guidelines to sell any live animals on their platform. So to get around those rules, there are all kinds of sheep and livestock groups. Join those groups in and around your area and then make a post on them saying, for example, Katahdin ewes looking for new pasture, or sheep looking for a new home. Just don't say they're for sale or they'll send the cops to your house and you'll get arrested. I'm just kidding. Just don't do that. Now, once you've advertised and set your price, you then wait for the countless questions you will receive from potential buyers. And after answering all the questions from half-interested people and finally finding somebody who wants to buy your sheep, the next thing we do is let them come out to the farm and let them take a look at the sheep, and hopefully they'll give us their money. For us, we try to treat people the way we want to be treated, the golden rule. We will get all the sheep we have for sale up into a small pen and then let the potential buyer pick out the specific ones they want. We have found this makes for happy buyers, and happy buyers makes for repeat buyers, and repeat buyers equals more money. We then help load the sheep into their trailer and the buyer drives away happy. And we walk away with cold hard cash in our hands with no fees. That's what I'm talking about! That, my friends, is what we have found is the best way to sell sheep. But there is some complications to this method, just like all the others. It can be very easy to screw somebody over, whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side of the bargain. We as sellers can bring up the worst sheep that we have that are sick and we know that have problems and sell them to the buyer. Or on the buyer side of things, they can just give us a check that doesn't clear and then they run away with the sheep happily ever after for free. That's why we make our buyers pay in cash, because that has happened before. Point is that this method is very much built on trust, and you gotta make sure that the buyer is legit. Please check out my other videos on the channel, and thank you guys for watching. That's a farm.